Welcome to Indie Radio Newsreel. I'm Prathamesh, and you're listening to the news updates for 6th August 2024. Here are the international news updates for today. Bangladesh Parliament dissolved. Bangladesh's parliament has been dissolved a day after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was forced from power. Ms. Hasina resigned and fled the country after weeks of student-led protests spiraled into deadly unrest. The dissolution of the parliament, a key demand of protesters, paved the way for establishing an interim government. Meanwhile, Bangladesh today carried out a major reshuffle in the top positions in the army. Kamala Harris picks Minnesota's Tim Walz for her US vice president candidate. Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris selected Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be her running mate today. The Minnesota governor and former high school teacher will become vice president if Harris beats Donald Trump in November. Walz gained national attention for his strategy of calling Trump and J.D. Vance weird, a phrase Harris has adopted when talking about her rival. Walz is expected to win over rural white voters. Israel and Hezbollah trade strikes as tensions simmer. Israel says it has carried out an airstrike against what it said was a military structure used by the armed group Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. The Lebanese Health Ministry said 4 people were killed in the strike on a house in the town of Maifadoun, around 30 kilometers from the Israeli border. Reports say that the 4 men were Hezbollah fighters. In an apparent response, the group launched drone strikes on towns in northern Israel, injuring 2 people. It comes amid increasing tensions between Israel and Hezbollah and with Iran, which backs the group. Now to the national news stories. Indian visitors to UK advised to stay vigilant, exercise caution amid unrest. Amid the recent violent unrest in several British cities, the High Commission of India in United Kingdom issued an advisory on Tuesday urging Indian citizens visiting the country to remain vigilant. Indian travellers would be aware of the recent disturbances in some parts of the UK. The High Commission of India in London is closely monitoring the situation, the advisory read. Far-right activist and anti-racism groups clashed in cities across the United Kingdom last week, following a stabbing attack at a dance class in northwest England earlier in the week, which resulted in 3 girls being killed and several others injured. Pressure from poor Muslim groups to amend Waqf Act, says Kiren Rijiju. As the Union government prepares to amend the Waqf Act 1995, Minister for Minority Affairs Kiren Rijiju told the media on Tuesday that there is a long-standing demand from poor Muslim groups to amend the legislation. Rijiju said a decision to introduce a bill to amend the act in the ongoing session of the parliament was still under consideration. The government is yet to circulate a copy of the bill among the members of parliament in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. India bloc parties protest against GST on health, life insurance premiums, demanding a reduction in the 18% goods and service tax or GST imposed on life and health insurance premiums. The India bloc parties held protest on the steps leading to the Makar Dwar of Parliament on Tuesday. Carrying placards in 7 languages, the parties criticized the government for imposing extra burden on the middle class and called it a step towards tax terrorism. Hours after the protest, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla cautioned the members to desist from holding protest on the steps leading to the parliament. Thank you for listening to Indie Radio Newsreel. For more news, audiobooks and podcasts, stay tuned to Indie Radio or log on to www.indiejournal.in. Also consider subscribing to listen to our premium shows.